are out. They really good backs. The quarterback certainly. I think you guys know about him. He has a lot of the traits that Hooker has from Tennessee. But it's a really good offensive line. It's a team that has been really successful against the run. So it'll be probably our biggest challenge in terms of a team that runs the ball really well. So you go on the road and in the SEC you get new challenges, right? We got a spread offense that we really struggled with, and we'll have to do a great job now against another SEC opponent that runs the ball very well. So that's what we've been working on all week.
Yeah, hey, Coach. Just wondering if I could get your thoughts on Coach Napier. Obviously, a guy who has some Louisiana ties, is very much like you in his first year in this conference. Just have you had a chance to interact with him at all, going back to coaches' meetings, or just what are your overall thoughts?
I haven't. Certainly, did a great job at Louisiana. And look, I know the climb, right? Grand Valley State, Central Michigan, Cincinnati. You have to do so much more with less, and he did a great job and put a consistent winner out there. And you have to be creative. You have to be willing to take chances. You got to put together a great staff. You have to build great relationships. He's done all those things. He's at this level because he's earned it. He didn't do it because he got lucky. And he'll do great at Florida. He's a great hire for Florida. So got a lot of respect for what he did. And, again, you can see that, we both have the same challenges. We're rebuilding our rosters. We run into each other in the recruiting, as we're trying to, build up the depth on our teams. You can see that we're out there in the recruiting world. So that's probably where we'll see each other a lot over the next few years.
Hey, Coach. Joe didn't play a whole ton this past week, but so are you guys just
I'm sorry, who didn't?
Joe Fuchsia.
Right.
And so with Jarek, are you guys just a little bit more comfortable with having him next to Greg, or what sort of dynamic there at safety?
It was really the system of offense that we were going against. He's much more of a downhill, close to the box safety. Jarek is much more in space, cover safety, and we just felt more comfortable with him in the game plan. Joe is going to be asked to do a lot this week, so you'll see a lot of him in the game plan this weekend.
Hey, Coach, right here.
Yeah.
Through 6 games, how would you evaluate the passing game, and what are some things you still think you need to improve on?
I think the passing game has been up and down. I think that, you just need to look at the statistics. I think at Auburn, we were less than 100 yards passing. This past weekend, we were, 250, 275. I think we got to 300, but that was late in the game where they were playing prevent, the ball from going in the end zone. So I think it took some strides forward, but I would call it inconsistent at this time, and it needs to be much more consistent. And that's that's why we're 4-2. So we need more consistency in the passing game, and I think we've taken some steps forward where we're better than we were at the start of the year, but we still have some room to grow.
Brian, you kind of mentioned how earlier this week y'all are in the middle of a process in year one, and obviously you've been through this many times before at different schools. So what do you want to what are going to be the signs to you, even before maybe the results show up, that you're beginning to see what you want to see? What are kind of be the things that you notice that show you that once you've gotten maybe to the point that you want to be at?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of everything. It's how they handle their responsibilities away from football, classroom. We've got a lot of work to do in the classroom. Certainly, the attention to detail when it comes to just the day-to-day habits that we're trying to build with our football team. Those those are transformational, right? So you take those with you to the practice field. So your alignment is right, your assignment is right. All of those things go to execution and trusting that you're going to do it the right way. So everything from what you eat late at night when no one's watching you, to what time you go to bed, to the people you hang around with. All of those things are part of a process of making choices and making good choices that are championship habits, and championship teams have those habits. And look, they have choices, right? They can choose to be average, or they can choose to be excellent and elite. And, to be elite, to be excellent, you got to do hard things. You got to go to bed early. You got to turn your cell phone off. So that's kind of what I'm talking about, more so than, how they ran the route or what play was called.
Brian, when Dellinger was out for the Auburn game, you moved Frazier to left guard. Is that a similar possibility this week?
Yes, sir.
Is Bradford going to be at right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Most likely. Yeah, that seems to be the best combination for us right now with Dellinger out.
Hey, Coach, how do you plan on getting the running backs more involved in the passing game moving forward?
I don't know that that would not be like a priority on the list of things that, we've got to get better at. I think we've just, within our passing game, I've been fairly pleased with the running back's ability to catch the ball coming out of the backfield. I would say it's much more comprehensive in, quarterback, protection, route running, and then backs catching the ball out of the backfield would probably be like 4th or 5th on that list.
The players were telling us they had a players meeting again this week and really addressed the special teams errors that have been going on. Like, where do you see these struggles coming from, and what makes this phase of the game difficult?
I think that their conversations were more about commitment and effort. Special teams is an effort play. And look, everybody's focusing on that one play. When there's a special teams play, all eyes are on you. And I think just the realization and the recognition that we need more effort. We need guys playing at a higher level on those particular plays. And the guys that are asked to be on those teams are frontline guys, and we've got to get them playing at a higher level.
Just what's the latest on Major Burns and Seven Banks as well?
Yeah, good question. So Major's out there. He's been on our scout team, done a nice job. I think he's on track to meet that timeline that we talked about sometime around the Alabama game. So pretty happy about that. Same with Armani Goodwin. If things go well with Armani, he may get cleared as early as this coming week and be available for Mississippi. So he's a little bit of ahead of schedule. Seven, going through the normal protocol and procedures in terms of getting full range of motion back. He's in the training room. He's begging to travel. He's anxious to get back and do the things necessary, but he's a ways away. He's where Major was, obviously, after the first week.
Hey, Coach, how's Wes Weeks doing? We saw he
Yeah.
sort of limped off the last week. And overall with your linebackers, how do you feel they've been so far this season?
Yeah, he had an ankle sprain. He's practiced this week. He was a little limited on Tuesday, but he'll be able to help us. I think, we've gotten everything out of the guys that we've asked them. Would we like to be better in certain, times during the year? But sure, but those guys have played as hard as they can play, and coach is getting everything out of them. Good? All right, thank you.
You're welcome.